I have essential tremors. Well, I had. Well, I kind of still have, but I kind of don't have essential tremors. Listen, I'll tell you about it here in a second, but I just had the focused ultrasound treatment to treat my essential tremors on the right side of my body. And I'm going to tell you exactly how that went. One thing I noticed is there's a lot of information out there from the doctor's perspective, like what to expect from their perspective, what they're doing, how it works, etc., etc. What I didn't hear a lot of was from the patient's perspective. And that's what I want to share with you today, because had I known what I know now, I still would have done it. But it would have given me a little more to prepare for. There wouldn't have been, like the doctors tell you things, but they don't understand specifically how it feels. So what I want to do is tell you the whole process that I went through, and then tell you, this is about 24 hours later, what sort of side effects I'm having and how I feel. If this is something that you're interested in, it's covered by a lot of insurance. In fact, I have TRICARE, and I went through the VA, and I was able to get this taken care of. So obviously the first thing to do is to get with your primary care physician, get a diagnosis for essential tremors. You had to have tried at least 2 different medications and failed with those 2 medications in order to be a candidate for this. Then you're gonna get MRIs and CT scans, and they're gonna look at your head and look at your brain. They gotta check the thickness of your skull to make sure you're a good candidate, because if it's too thin, there's a lot of heat involved. Additionally, they put a lot of pressure on your skull when they're tightening the frame down. Once that's done, you get scheduled, everything's good. So I had my procedure on Monday, and Friday, before that, I had to get another MRI. So it was the final MRI, got that done. I got the medications that I needed like a week prior from the pharmacy. It's Monday morning, I'm ready to go. I had to get there about 30 minutes early. Once you get in there, they shave your head. So shave your head the night before, but they're gonna take like a face shaver, an electric razor, and they're gonna go over the top of your head to make sure they get as much of the clippings off as you can. So ahead of time, make sure you shave your head. So this is the part I've been dreading. I have to get rid of what little hair I have left. And who better to cut my hair off than my family?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
If he messes up my beard, he dies. You mess up my beard, you die.
Are you ready?
You understand that, right?
Yeah, are you ready?
You accept these terms?
Yeah, I accept these terms.
Okay.
What happened? Oh wait, shouldn't I like start with something good to get all this off?
Perhaps you should have thought of this before you went at it.
Is that,
I'm just kidding.
Don't do that. There's so much gray in it.
There's so much gray. And after this, I'm sure my whole hair will be... Oh, there's a lot of gray.
You look like...
I'm gonna wait for that part because I'm too scared.
So Jude thinks it's funny, this little island I have right here. He wants to line it up back where, you know,
the rest of your hair?
where the coast has receded to.
We'll give you like a bowl cut type thing in the back. Just some, you know.
Okay.
It just looks so like, yeah.
He's a little gangster.
Yeah.
Like a nerd.
So this is what he's got so far.
Yeah, it's so tough, right?
Tough. Are you gonna do the front?
This is the first time in your whole life I've ever seen this gone.
Oh
my god.
Every bit of this.
Oh.
It's gone.
This looks so stupid. Everyone's laughing.
It actually doesn't look like
Yeah, that's so tough.
You look like a nerd. We need a 0.5.
Oh my. That's so bad. Oh, I look so old.
Let's see how far back it really goes.
Oh, that's...
Oh, I don't know way too much fun of this. Shiny. It's ridiculous.
So we gotta keep your hair up.
Can we spike it?
Yeah, so let's keep it all up.
Does it need some texture?
No, we need it like...
Some texture powder.
It makes Zoe's turn now. Oh, yeah. My turn.
That looks awful. Could you imagine if I did that all the time? Just kept my hair. What did you just put in your hand?
Put a little water.
A little.
To keep it all like spiky so I can get my
Ow.
Oh.
Who just...
What are we thinking?
My turn.
Yeah, let me show you the cut.
Do I look fresh?
You look
Oh,
like
you
a
look
nerd.
so fresh.
Finish it off.
Ooh, I'm going straight through the middle.
All right, hair's cut. Only thing that's left is the surgery. I had my procedure done at Barrows in Phoenix, and the staff was amazing. The nurses were great. The doctor was awesome. They really make you feel good in a very unpleasant situation. So I showed up in just some comfortable clothes. I didn't have to put like a gown on or anything, just no metal because you're gonna be sitting in an MRI for the entire procedure. So I was wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt with my shoes on, just dressed very comfortable. And like I said, you're not required to wear a gown. At least I wasn't required to wear a gown. And this is just my experience. This is not like any sort of medical advice or anything like that. It's just my experience, what happened to me yesterday. So they shave your head, and then the doctor comes in, and you can tell I'm slurring my speech a little bit. He gives you injections. He gives you 2 injections here. You can see the little dots, maybe. See the little dots where the the frame was bolted to my head. These injections suck so bad. So the pinprick, no big deal. The medication, the numbing medication that they give you, burns. So be prepared for that. If you don't do good with that type of stuff, you gotta really suck it up and understand that it's going to burn. They're gonna put some of the medication in, and they're gonna let it numb up for a bit, and then they are going to fill up the area with medication. Like it looked like, I was saying it looked like I went, a couple rounds in the octagon with Conor McGregor. You have golf balls where the injection sites are. So they get all that done, and then they put the frame on your head, and they get it situated right, and then they start tightening down the anchors. This is very uncomfortable because they are putting a lot of pressure on your skull. A lot of pressure. They tighten it down until it basically bottoms out and they cannot turn it or torque it anymore. I asked him if there was a specific torque, and he said bottomed out, basically, as tight as he can get it. So obviously you want it to be as tight as it can go because you don't want your head to move while you're in the tube and they're trying to burn a little spot in your brain. So you are secured in this frame. The frame doesn't hurt, but it's a lot of pressure and it's very uncomfortable, so you need to be prepared for that. A lot of this stuff is just very uncomfortable. So that's done, right? You got the frame on your head, you're all numbed up, you're ready to go, boom, boom, boom. And then they get you situated in the MRI. So this frame, they lay you back a certain way and it slides into the other thing, whatever, I don't know what it's called. The frame slides into the other part and it locks into place. And at that point, you're stuck. The MRI is very cold. I recommend blankets. The first part, they take pictures. You're in there for a long time and they're taking pictures of your brain, of your head, and they're getting a good idea of where they're gonna do the ablation. You're in there for a long time, so if you don't need blankets beforehand, just get the blankets. I made the mistake of not getting the blankets and I started shivering toward the end. I'm a big dude, I'm a furnace, and I got cold, very cold. When they're first taking the pictures, you get the little squeeze tube for if you're like claustrophobic or you're uncomfortable or whatever, and they'll stop it and they'll pull you out and find out what's going on. Once they put you in for the actual treatment where they're gonna zap your brain, they give you a different one, which was black, and if you squeeze that one, treatment's over. Like they called that the tap out button. So that is like, nope, we can't do this anymore. And I'm telling you, you're gonna wanna squeeze it, but just tough it out. So they get the pictures done, they roll you out, and they tell you, okay, we got the pictures, they come in, make any adjustments that they need, if they gotta turn your head a little, whatever the case is, they make those adjustments, and they give you the little black tube, squisher thing. All right, this is it. Now, once you go in, you hear the MRI go, and it sounds different. It's like little clicks and pops, and it's a little bit different than what you're used to for an MRI. One thing I forgot to mention is they're gonna do the spiral test. They're gonna do that several times. So, and they have other stuff too, like a cup that you'll put to your face. Oh, look at this. See this? See how steady that hand is? Bam! This one, if I were to talk with this hand, not so steady. See that? Anyway, they're gonna have you do a series of tests because they need to get the shake out because they need to get an idea on if the treatment is working. So they put you back in and they're gonna do a test zap. I call it zap, I don't know what they call it. A test zap. And what this zap does, it kind of paralyzes the area that they think they wanna burn. That way, it doesn't do permanent damage to the brain, but it shows if it makes your symptoms better, your tremor better, without causing the side effects. So what it did for me was I felt my mouth go numb briefly. And that's one of the things to look out for. That tells him whether they're in the right spot or not. So he had to make a little adjustment. He didn't want my mouth to go numb, but the shakes did slow down quite a bit. So he knew he was in the right spot. He just had to make a little adjustment. He made that adjustment and then put me back in the tube. He's like, all right, I'm gonna do the ablation. This might have been worse than the injections. And this will really test you. This part is wild. So you feel like you'll hear it. You'll hear like a little high-pitched squeak, like in the middle of your head. Then you hear that bop, 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 bop. And at that point, that's when you know that he's going for real. You are going to feel like the entire tube is spinning and you're gonna feel like you're falling through it. You're gonna get very nauseous. It's gonna make you, I can see how you can get scared. I can see how you could wanna vomit. I can see how you really wanna tap out at that point. But you just gotta first off, I found that if I close my eyes, everything stops spinning and you just kinda have the feelings. So that helped me a lot, was closing my eyes. If you open them, I'm telling you, it's weird. The thing is, everything starts moving, and you just, because it's messing with your brain. You really got to stick it out. Just stick it out. It ends. We all go through it. So then it stops, and then he pulls you out of the tube. He's like, "Hey, did you have any side effects? Is your mouth numb, tingling, all that? Fingertips tingling?" No. He had me do the spirals. It looked good. He had me try to get that shake back. I couldn't. I stuck my hand out. It was good. And there's like maybe a little. So he put me back in and he zapped me again, and that one was even scarier. I really just had to tell myself, like, whatever happens, happens. I know I'm not gonna die in this tube, but it's scary stuff. So he did it again. He pulled me out. He's like, all right, we're all done. That was it. And then one thing I forgot to mention. They put this like giant condom on your head, this rubber thing, and they fill it with 57-degree water. It is so cold and refreshing. That was like the best part. So they numb you up, they poke you, they screw the thing into you, and then they give you this nice cold ice bath, which is nice. That stays on the whole time because of how hot the focused ultrasound becomes. So then they pull you out, they drain the water, they lift you up out of the ultrasound contraption and unbolt the cage, make sure you stop bleeding, and put you in a wheelchair. They wheel you to your vehicle, and then you go home. That's it. You just monitor side effects after that. So let's talk about my side effects. I haven't had any headaches. My speech is slurred a little bit. I notice when I say certain things, I get tripped up or I slur a little bit, which is fine. I'm sure it'll get better. I'm very clumsy. I find myself dropping a lot of things and bumping into stuff. Just really clumsy. It's kind of a weird feeling. My right leg is I don't know. I feel like I veer off to my right. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird. It's nothing scary for me so far, but my shake is gone. I feel like I still shake a little bit, but I think it's in anticipation. See, there it is. I think it is in anticipation of me wanting to correct the tremor. Because you know how you dealt with it, you live with it. You know how you figure out how to deal with it, you know? How to drink a cup of coffee. You know you're gonna twitch a certain way, so you're expecting it. You know if your hand is in a certain position, it's gonna cause a tremor, so you automatically change. So I think a lot of my shakes right now are just anticipating that and trying to make a change. So it's really hard to get used to. But I did some handwriting. I can write cursive just fine. You know, I can tell there's a little tremor, but it's nothing. I would say 85% back to just what normal would be considered. And it is just unreal. Here's what I'll say. If I'm not getting I'm gonna get emotional here. So walking in, I don't want to say I was indifferent. I was just nervous. I was anxious. I kind of felt like, you know, it's game day and I need to lock in and just be focused. And I kind of was just quiet. I was anxious about like, am I gonna have side effects? Is this even gonna work? Is this gonna hurt? When I left, I was ready to turn right back around and do the left side of my body. The pain that you went through is very quick compared to now I've had nearly 24 hours shake free on the right side of my body. So the pain, the awkwardness, the dizziness in the tube, the frame, all that is worth it. So if you're thinking about doing it, do it. And just understand that you gotta tough it out. When I left, I was in tears. Like it was so hard to walk by people, like, you know, you get out of the elevator, a couple people clap. I don't know if it's because they thought I was like I just finished up cancer treatment or something because of my bald head. But regardless, I figured they were clapping because they knew why. And it was just a really, really, really good feeling. And it was a really good feeling when I got home and I was able to do things that I haven't been able to do before. small things like pick up a cup without it, shaking and spilling, or walking with a cup with water or coffee in it, or take my time writing letters or in numbers, maneuvering a mouse on a computer, taking a selfie. My God, I purposely I took a selfie and was like, damn, it's not all blurry. Moving forward, you wait 9 months and they monitor for side effects for 9 months, and if you're good on side effects, then they schedule you for the opposite side. So I'm looking forward to that. I cannot wait to get back in there and have them do this again. It's maybe an hour and a half of your life where it's weird and awkward, but totally worth it. And I'm gonna go through this again so I can get my left side done. And then I don't even know how I'm gonna act at that point, like completely tremor free. And I have that to look forward to in 9 months. Unreal. Now, and I know I gave him some credit before, but I gotta say, Dr. Ponce and the nursing staff and everybody involved, I'm beyond impressed. Very professional, very personable, very just happy and friendly, and they took such great care of me. I cannot recommend them enough. So if you're in the Valley and you're interested, you're in Arizona, I think this is the only place in Arizona that does it, is Barrows. So if you're living with this and you're in Arizona, I cannot recommend Dr. Ponce enough. So Dr. Ponce, if you ever see this, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Anyway, that's it. If you have any questions, you wanna pick my brain about some stuff, leave the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. Peace.